Hey there, tribe, it's Kira, and I just got back from Michael's. So I just posted a bunch of stuff on our Instagram stories and on the Create Along with Polymer Clay TV's Facebook page. In the stories there, you can see me picking up and playing with some of the Michael's new clay stuff, and I brought some of them home. Hi, Roz, because I wanted to show you what is being promoted. It's kind of cool that polymer clay has become so popular in the past couple of years. People who didn't know about it before know about it now, but the driving force in all of that is the clay earring business, where people have jumped on and want to make clay earrings because they are fun to make for, fun and profit. In fact, clay earrings are something I like to make. I'm famous for saying I don't have any earrings that go with this outfit, and just go and make some because they can be finished in about 45 minutes, put them on and walk out the door. So the most controversial thing I've seen in Facebook groups and stuff is the clay. So this is one of the slabs, and I brought this home. It's Bead Landing, which I think is a Michael's offshoot brand. And they have a whole bunch of clay slabs that are already decorated and ready to use. And I'm gonna say that I'm a little skeptical because this is incredibly thick, very, very thick. So let me see if I can get it open. It comes kind of clamshelled and wrapped in plastic. And look how thick this slab of clay is. It might be 2 slabs because they're it's decorated on both sides. Maybe not. Let me just see how to open it. Okay. All right, this one has metallic on it. Oh, look at that. Okay. I think I'll flip my camera down in a second, because as I was peeling off the plastic, all of this pretty metallic stuff on the clay came right off. So that's a big oops. I also bought some Craft Smart texture sheets. They come in a pack of 6. I bought some Bead Landing texture sheets, which come in a pack of 4. They're double-sided, so there's 2 in here, but there's 4. And I wanted you to see the texture sheets because they're really thin. They're not not a lot of texture. And then I did buy one of the silkscreen kits because I always love to compare silkscreens to Create Along. They are very small and they seem really thin. So let me turn my camera down and we'll take a look at all this stuff. Yep. Instead of looking at my fan, let me see if I can flip it around. There we go. Okay. So here's my desk. And I have some clay prepared so that we could play. Let me get a blade and open this silk screen. I also got some paint. This is a folk art paint called Design Cream. Is that? No, okay. A folk art paint called Design Cream. And it says that it's for silk screens and stencils. So I thought that this would be something fun to try and see how well it works. I may do it at the very end though, so that I have the ability to go and wash my screen, right? So we'll set that paint to the side, get this silk screen open because I really want to look at it. Sorry, this live is not going to be as smooth as some of the other ones I've done because I am doing this all in real time. So it comes with a squeegee, which is a plastic card. And this is the screen. Comes all wrapped up in plastic. Interesting feeling. Oh. All right, I'm just going to rip this. I feel like maybe this has sticky back. I think this is a sticky back silk screen. I never understood why you would want to use one of those with polymer clay because then it's going to stick to your clay and make things more difficult. Yeah, it's stuck to a plastic backing. Can you already tell that I'm not super excited about it? All right, because it's difficult. Yeah, it's sticky. Okay, so my advice with something like this is you've got to take some cornstarch and pounce it all over the silkscreen, because I would put it this side down on my clay, and then this side where you're going to be doing the paint and stuff is sticky. So it's kind of, I don't like it. I don't want my silkscreen to be sticky. So as opposed to the Create Along silk screens, which are fabric and nice, and you just put them on the clay, use them, and go wash it, and you're done. This one's going to need some maintenance and some cornstarch. All right, so we're just not going to mess with that. Get that over there. All right, this is a texture sheet. I bought ones that I thought had a pattern I might like to use. I do like florals, but let's see. So this has a very, it's hard, it's kind of stiff, which could be nice. And it is very shallow. The designs are super shallow. All right, so we are going to try that with some clay. This one came with the 2 flowers. This is a heart and like a washi scales design. And then that one is the bead landing one. So those are the turquoise color. And this is the Craft Smart, which is Michael's private label. And they also are double-sided. So this one is the foliage one. So what I'm pretty immediately noticing is that these ones, this is going to create a raised floral design on the clay. This is going to press the design into the clay. So this one's more like a stamp. And you could even probably use it with ink. It feels sort of rubbery. They're not rubber. I'm not sure what they are. It's coral and this leaf design, some ginkgo leaves, and this loose leaf. And what it's going to do is press that design into the clay. So you get this pattern. In the clay. It's kind of large pattern. Just depends, I guess, on what you're making. In contrast, my ginkgo leaves texture sheet from Create Along is one of my favorites, and the ginkgo leaves are about half that size. So maybe better suited for smaller, daintier jewelry. These are kind of large to me, but I like to work small, so that's going to be up to you. All right, let's try this one. Let's try this one, see what it's like. Since it's hard, I don't know if I can roll over it, but I can press my acrylic roller over it like this. And I didn't apply any release or anything. Let's see. Okay. That's a cute flower pattern, but you can see I wasn't able to press it evenly. So that could be something that you'd have to practice with to make sure that you get the right pressure all the way across the stamp. Right, let's try this bigger flower on the back. I don't really feel like rolling is effective. I feel like it's more like this. again, less pressure on that side, so that must be something I'm doing to be lopsided. So I would definitely work with it some more to try to get it even. So they are very subtle, low kind of textures. Pretty. Would probably work really well with a technique like mica shift because they are hard. This is a hard, firm texture. All right, let's play with this slab of clay. So they're calling these pre-rolled sheets, and bake for 20 minutes at 250 Fahrenheit. So it is a lower temperature than Primo, Sculpey, and Souffle, which are my favorite clays. So you'd have to remember to look at the package and bake at the appropriate time and temperature. But like I said, look, in the package, it looks like it has this cool metallic design on it, but as I open it, that's not staying on the clay. It's coming right off with the plastic. That's totally disappointing. Okay, yep, it's not even staying on. And I can't tell, I feel like this should be 2 sheets back to back, but I don't think it is. I think it's just backed onto a piece of black clay. Okay, so this is extremely thick. I would never make earrings this thick. This is my usual. This is a number 2 on my pasta machine, and I feel like this clay is about 3 times thicker. So we will need to roll this out. So let's see how that goes. I've heard that the clay can crack because, you know, you can't really condition it when you've got a pre-made slab like this. It's kind of, you have what you have. I'm not excited about the fact that I immediately lost all of the metallic. Oh, and it's starting to crack. This is what I heard about from some other people who've tried it. It's just cracking across the surface. As I try to stretch it out and make it thinner. Now, if you watched my last YouTube video when I made this slab, and if you're not familiar, it's Polymer Clay TV on YouTube, and then I made some earring components and a sheet of clay. Let me show you that. This sheet of clay here. It's not that hard to make your own, right? So I'm feeling like with this cracking on the surface that's happening just from me trying to thin it a little bit, I wouldn't want to mess with this clay. I'd rather learn how to make my own sheets, right? This is not hard. This is a pretty easy way to use up some scrap and learn how to make sheets. So go watch that YouTube if you don't know how to do this. Okay, I'm going to take this to the pasta machine and try to get it thinner and see what happens. Okay, that's after 1 roll at my thickest setting, which is 0 on my Atlas. I have an Atlas Mercado 180 pasta machine. I don't like it. I'm not excited about it cracking like this. And that's just going to a 0. I want to go down 2 more to make this clay the thickness that I like for earrings, and it's obvious that it's not going to survive. So My honest opinion of this is don't mess with it. It's way too thick to make an earring with on its own. And then when you try to make it thinner, at least this is what happened to this one. So I think that my results are similar to what I've heard from other makers trying this clay out. Also lost all the metallic on the first opening of the plastic, and I can't get it to stick back onto the clay. So that was also a disappointment. All right, now I want to see about this paste here, and I'm going to use it with my silkscreen because I am not messing with the sticky back one. I don't like those. If somebody who's watching this does like them or doesn't mind and you want to win it, go ahead and make a comment and I'll pick somebody to send some of these tools to, because you know, I prefer using Create Along tools since I design and make and sell them. And I like to buy stuff like this to review and let people know what's available out there in the craft stores that you can easily go and pick up, and whether or not I recommend them, how I feel about them, all that kind of stuff. So I am gonna, let's see. Okay, I thought this might be like a texture paste. So this is Folk Art Design Cream. And so far, I mean, it's nice. Seems nice. It's kind of a thicker paint. And now we have to see if it's going to be compatible, which is why I'm going to take a piece of Sculpey. So I have some scrap here from my last project. We're going to put a swipe. This is how you can test for paint compatibility. Going to put some on this piece of scrap clay and bake it. And we'll see if the paint dries and if it remains sticky. Any of those things happen. And that's what you should do anytime you're testing a new brand of paint for yourself, to make sure that it's going to work with your polymer clay. Just because you use a certain brand of paint and clay all the time also doesn't mean that every color in the paint line is going to work. I have tested some lines of paint, and like the blue works, the pink doesn't. Sometimes they use different chemicals and things in paint to get it to do things and have different properties. So really, you can have a brand of paint where some of the colors work and some don't. So let's see what this silkscreen looks like with this paint going through it. Seems like a nice paint. I kind of like it so far. We'll see if it's compatible later when all of this dries. And I'm gonna go, yeah, that looks good with the little bats flying. I'm gonna go wash my silkscreen, and I will talk to you guys later. Leave me any comments or questions and I'll be happy to answer. Have a great night.